Hey there, my name is Cirque, and today I'm going to teach you how to take a template character from the Rivals 2 workshop and move it over into your own workshop mod, so you can play around in the editor with your own character and manipulate the values and whatever you need to do in order to get started with modding in Rivals 2 workshop. From what I've seen online, this is definitely the most difficult part of the modding process, except for maybe modeling and animating. So I just wanted to create a clear and concise guide for how you can start from scratch and end up with a character that is your own to edit. Now I'm going to assume that you've downloaded the Rivals 2 dev kit from the Epic Games launcher. If you haven't, go do that. Also, take a look at the guide that Aether Studios put out on all the different components of the project. It's very, very important. You won't regret reading it. So I've got a link down in the description for that as well. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is open up the editor. And then you're going to want to go ahead and click on that modding icon up at the top. And go ahead and click on Open Steam Workshop UI. Go ahead and click New. You can see it created a folder there. That's our mod ID. Go ahead and give your character a name. Okay, put that up in the workshop title. And okay, that's good. We can close that out. And you see that we got 2 empty folders here, so we're going to need to fill this up with some stuff. It's mostly going to be Armando. We're going to be using Armando as a template. So let's go over here to the R2 kit folder here into example mods, click on Armando, and so you see this folder here. We want that, we want to import that, so let's copy it, and then we're going to go back up to the R2 kit here into project. You can see there's example mods, into project, into content, and then mod content, and just go ahead and paste that folder in. Cool. So now you can see in the editor that we've got the Armando files right there. There's all the Armando stuff. And then we've got our folder here, which doesn't have anything inside of it. So we're going to want to generate our own version of this char file. We don't want Armando, we want our own. So to do that, we're going to be following the guide. We're going to be starting on page 3 here. Right there, and we're going to be going down a few pages. So we're going to go up to the content folder here. We're going to pick a character. I'll just choose Claren, and we're going to right click on that CD file there, and then we're going to go to scripted asset actions and then create new character. I'm going to type in our character name, press OK, and then if you go up a level back to characters, there's going to be our folder with our character name on it. Go ahead and open that up. And so here's everything. And really, we don't need all of this. The only thing we want is this char file right here. So we're going to go ahead and move it over to our folder, like so, into Unreal Assets. We actually want to move it up a level. Okay, so everything else we're going to be copying from Armando. We want everything in this folder. So we're going to go into our folder here. We're going to delete the scripts folder, like so. And then yeah, let's move this char file up a level so we can delete the Unreal folder. Okay. And then we're going to go back to Armando, and we're just going to drag over those folders. There's the scripts one. We're going to click move here. We don't want to copy, we want to move. That preserves all of the references of the Armando project, so make sure nothing breaks. Yep, 298 loaded mods, that's fine. Go ahead and click yes. Okay, and there you see, there it's automatically importing all the references to our new folder here. Okay. Let's go ahead and move our char file inside the Unreal Assets folder. And okay, now we just want to make sure that our char blueprint matches the one for Armando. So you can see that immutable name there. That's the key difference there, is that the immutable name on our file is correct, whereas the one on Armando is not. That's really what you want. So we gotta change the rest of the references here. Some things don't matter, like these things right here, they don't matter at all. But this character data here, we do want that to change. And right now, those are pointed back at the folder up in characters, not the one in mod content. So we need to repoint that back towards the ones in this folder, the mod ID folder. So we can just drag over that reference like that, and that's gonna fix that one right there. That's the character data. We want to go ahead and change the default skin definition to the Armando one as well. We're going to scroll down a bit. We're going to change the arcade mode data. And then we want to change the character parent class as well. This is kind of a self-referential field, but it'll work out. Just trust. For now, we'll set it to the Armando one. Okay, we'll go ahead and save that. And the next thing we need to do is actually change the parent class, like it says in the guide. We need to change this to Rivals Lua character definition. Okay, then go ahead and save that. And we should be good now to remove this Armando char file. And we'll go ahead and delete. And we're going to replace all references to that with our char pha there. And so anything that references the Armando char file is now going to reference the one that we want. And go ahead and save selected. And there we go. So we can scroll down to the bottom there, that self-referential thing. Yeah, that's fixed. The character parent class, it's fixed. Okay, so now we need to fix all the Lua references. They're still pointed at the Armando mod ID. Those did not get transferred when we moved the files over. So we're going to go to the CD file. And anywhere that we see this 360 number, we need to replace it with our mod ID number. So you can go ahead and grab that, press F2 to rename the folder, and then press Ctrl-C to copy it. You're not actually going to rename it, you just want the string. Once you have it, you can go up here, and here in the Lua script path, go ahead and replace that. There's a couple other spots. It's going to be in the animations directory, so go ahead and change that number. It's also in the attack data directory there. Go ahead and change that. Okay, that's it for the CD file. Now the articles also use Lua, so like the mini Mando and the big Mando and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and change that. Go to attacks, articles, and let's just open up all of these. And so each one of those is going to have a reference to the number there in the Lua script path under Lua as well. So go ahead and change that and then save them all. There's 3 and there's 4. Perfect. And we can go ahead and close all these now. Okay. So that should be it for the Lua references. The next thing we want to do is we want to move away from using the Armando name internally. We want to use our own character name. And here's a really handy and fast way to do all that. So if we use the search feature here, if we click on that root folder there, the our mod ID number, and we type in underscore ARM underscore, that's going to find every file in our folder that uses the ARM shorthand as part of the style guide. So that's every single file. So let's go ahead and just select everything. You can left click on the first object, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then hold down Shift and press left click again. You can also just press Control A like this, and that just selects everything. Right click, go to Scripted Asset Actions, and then click Rename Multiple Files v3. So go ahead and leave all the settings here the same. just go ahead and type in what you want to replace, which is underscore ARM underscore, and then the toString, which is the first 3 letters of your character name. In my case, it's PHA, and go ahead and press OK. There's 241 items. It's going to rename them one at a time, so it's going to take a little bit to get through them all. Now you might see some, you may or may not see some duplicate file name errors popping up on the right. As I figured out later on, it didn't end up really changing anything. It kind of resolved itself. But I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. I've been trying to do this in several takes, so I've been like adding and deleting files all over the place, so I don't think that's going to be a problem for you, but just in case it is, it ended up resolving itself, so yeah. Okay, so once that's done, the search filter is empty because everything's been replaced. There's a couple more references to names that we want to change here. So we're going to do the full name Armando, A-R-M-A-N-D-O. And so you'll see there's uppercase and lowercase variants here. Let's go ahead and select everything. I'm going to run it twice, once for the uppercase, once for the lowercase. That case-sensitive checkbox there, I don't know, I just like to be explicit, but it might work for you if you just uncheck that box and you don't have to do it twice. Okay, and then lastly we're going to look at ARM. So you can see there's the rest of the references here. However, Armshot is included here. That's not Armando, that's just Armshot, so let's exclude those. I press Control and then left click to deselect them. And then just one more time, an uppercase version and a lowercase version. Alright, yep, and the Armshot stuff is all that's left. Now we want to update our Lua scripts to also not use Armando. Something that you'll probably find is that the scripts actually just don't copy over at all, so you have to re-copy them in the file browser there. You see like the scripts folder is just completely empty. So we'll go ahead and create that folder and move it all over manually. Unreal Engine doesn't really recognize the .lua extension. It just doesn't know what to do with it. So we can copy the folder and this Lua script here and paste it, and it'll work out. So we'll go ahead and we'll change the name of the Lua script to our character. And we don't really have to touch the articles. They have different names, they're all fine. And inside the code it doesn't reference Armando at all, so it's okay. But this one here, we do want to change this. You know, there's a bunch of references to Armando. The class name is Armando here. That's the actual character. You know, so do match this up with your character name. You can use any IDE. I'm using Notepad++, but Visual Studio is also a great choice, but it's probably a better choice, honestly. So just go ahead and find Armando, replace with your character name, and go ahead and replace everything. Save the file, and okay. So once you've done that, you've actually changed the name of Lua scripts, so we got to go back and change the files that reference the location of those Lua scripts. That's going to be in the CD file. And so you can see the name of the file is there in the script path, so we can change that. And then the Lua metatable name is on line number 1 of the Lua file. You can see here, that right there is the metatable name. So set it to that. And there you go. We also need to change the name of the prefixes for the animations and attack data, so set that as well right there, and then the attack data as well, like that. Okay, so that should be everything, and so we can run the editor, but first let's actually delete the original Armando file project, just to make sure that we're not relying on any hidden references to the Armando folder or anything like that. And also, we want to delete our folder in the characters folder back when we originally created the char file. Just to make sure we're not relying on any other files there either. So let's go ahead and delete those. And then let's give it a shot in the editor. Alright, so if we look at the workshop thing here, it's really hard to see. I can't really make it bigger while it's running. I don't know, it wasn't working. But there is only one name in there, and that is the name of our character. That's because we deleted the Armando folder. We'll go ahead and click on there, and then we'll just pick Maple as a CPU or something like that. And we'll go ahead and pick a stage. And so, yeah, the portrait is wrong. I haven't quite figured out what's going on with that yet. There's almost definitely a solution for it. I just haven't figured it out. So I may have just missed the reference to it, or something like that. But there you go. There he goes. He's got all his animations and stuff. He can jump and all that. They're all linked up. Try some attacks. Try neutral special. Yep. He spawns an article, he spawns a little dude. Yep, so the articles are working nice, the Lua is working. And yeah, that should be it. So now you should have a character whose the names are all different from Armando. There's no everything is all self-contained and working in the editor. So yeah, hopefully this has been helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. I'll try to answer them if I can. I'm really not an Unreal expert. I just picked this up on the day of the workshop announcement, so I'm learning this just as much as you are. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a good rest of your day. Take care.